At the start of last season, Habs management went public saying their goal was to be in the mix. The players delivered. They made the playoffs. Craig, has management now done enough to reward that effort? And is this club ready to take another significant step this season?
I would say yes and yes, Gino. And when we go back to the trade deadline last year, the team had shown that, hey, they were in the mix. And you look at some of their pending unrestricted free agents, Kent Hughes said, no, we're keeping these guys. We want to make sure that we can push further. Well, they pushed all the way into the playoffs, which I think was the first significant sign for management, and then their response. Then they get to the playoffs, they get to the offseason, and what do? They go and make a big trade to get Noah Dobson, a top 3 defenseman on any team. And now they gave up a couple of draft picks, but they have so many young players. Then they go and trade for Zach Bolduc. They trade a player in Logan Mailloux where they have some strength on the blue line to get some more scoring up front. They drafted Oliver Kapanen in the second round. He's been a really good player in Europe playing in those leagues. And now you watch a team that has more scoring outside of that top line of Slafkovsky, Suzuki, and Caulfield. Bolduc has scored 3 goals. Oliver Kapanen has settled into the second line center position where they were slotting Kirby Dach, and they were hoping for Kirby Dach. Injuries have derailed them, but now Oliver Kapanen has displaced them. And so now you look at a team that has a lot more balance, some more scoring, especially 5-on-5, hopefully behind that top line. So I don't think there's any question that management looked at the team and said, hey, what we did last year was really important, but we're not resting on our laurels. You go to Jakub Dobeš, a really good goaltender. They don't make the playoffs last year without Jakub Dobeš, and now they signed Lane Hutson to 8 years. You're looking at a team that not only has a lot of youth on its side, it also has loads of promise. But they're not just resting on what the potential is. They realize that what they did last year not only can be replicated, they can even take further steps forward.
All right, so let me follow up on that. What is next? As you mentioned, Lane Hutson took a team-friendly deal, so they've got lots of cash to work with. How aggressive should the Habs be in trying to upgrade this roster this season?
Well, you know what's nice, Gino, is that when you have players from within, Oliver Kapanen, who comes in and asserts himself, and he's more ready. Last year in training camp, he showed those glimpses. They said, no, go back to Sweden, play there. He was excellent. So now he comes back a little bit more ready. He had a little taste down the stretch for the Canadiens at the end of last season. And now you trade for Zach Bolduc, a really good player, had 19 goals last year with the St. Louis Blues. So they've made some moves, and now you're not feeling pressed to have to go, oh God, I got to fill this hole, I got to fill that hole. You're watching players emerge, you're watching players blossom in these different areas. And now it gives management a really good sense of stability. Because for me, as a manager, you want to see your team functioning at its best capability, near its maximum capability. You never want to be able to have to look at your team and go, oh, we got to do this to get up to our potential. They're playing near their potential, and that's a good sign, which gives them a really good opportunity to explore many options. And I think that has to play out over the next months, but I don't have any question in my mind that this is a team that can be in the playoffs, and they're not just hoping to be in the playoffs anymore, they're hoping to advance past the first round.
Yeah, and the Habs are in good position to keep rolling out of the gate. 2-1 to start, and their next 5 games, including tonight's home opener, are all against teams who missed the playoffs last season.